Hello and welcome back to the Dr. Karni Singh shooting range in New Delhi. We've got another final for you. It's our final event of the day, and it's the 50-metre rifle, 3 positions men's junior at this Issf Junior World Cup. We've had a great time so far in India. We've really been looked after, and we've enjoyed some lovely weather as well. So looking at the wind flags just in front of us, there's those ones nearest the camera and the ones further off into the distance. Before we get to those targets that are 50 metres away, there's just a little bit of a breeze fluttering around, that wind going from right to left. Earlier on, the wind was there, but the athletes coped with it very, very well. And Anushka Thoko, who is the current Asian champion, added another gold medal to her tally at this Junior World Cup. She took the gold in the 50-metre prone before we started our coverage a few days ago, as it's a non-Olympic event, and took that that gold medal in the 3 positions final just a few moments ago. So 50 metres is the distance. Rifles can weigh up to 8 kilos, as they are small bore rifles in this event, and the 10 ring just a mere 10.4 millimetres wide. I know it's mind-blowing, isn't it, to think it's 50 metres away as well. So 45 shots is the amount we'll have. And just to give you an idea, up to shot 40, Thokor had averaged just under 10.3 throughout the entire final. But that's how qualification ended earlier today. Fairly close, certainly at the top for the first 2 positions. And then from 3rd down to 6th and 7th, again, not much in it. And you can see our 8 athletes just standing off to the side. They've been in the preparation area, and they're about to be called in to this resplendent finals hall. Once again, the organisers here in India and the National Rifle Association of India have done so well working alongside the ISSF and all the sponsors as well. Thank you to our sponsors of this event. The range is looking great. All we need now is a great final. Well, if you were here earlier for the Women Junior final, you'll certainly know what happened in that. It had everything really that you'd expect from a 3P final, and we're hoping now that the men can match up. And the rifles down on the floor, they're ready. The kneeling position will be first. You get 3 series of 5 shots in the kneeling position. Then we have a 7-minute changeover, and we go to prone, and then a 9-minute changeover, and we go to standing. So Jamie Stangroom, our announcer of Great Britain, is about to introduce the athletes into the finals hall. Here we go.
Every one of them, we are broadcasting live to the world. On firing point H, representing India, Sami Ullah Khan.
And Sami Ullah Khan is first to be introduced, 21-year-old from India, one of 3 Indian athletes who's made this final. And the first of our 3 individual neutral athletes, Dmitry Pianov, is next, 20 years old. He managed to get a silver medal in Ningbo at the Senior World Cup a few weeks ago. Yes, you're on camera. Hilarious. Lukas Holinek of Slovakia is next. He's 18 years old on firing point F. This is his first appearance in a Junior World Cup final. And the second of our individual neutral athletes, Kamil Nuria Mirtov, 17 years old. Again, his first appearance in a final at a Junior World Cup. He also competed at the European Championships earlier this year. And Vedant Nitin Wagamari, 18 years old, second athlete from India. He's one of 3. On firing point C, representing AI Yaroslav Klimin is next. Another individual neutral athlete, 19 years old. Competed at the European Championships earlier this year. This is his first appearance in a final at a Junior World Cup. And Darko Tomasevic, quite experienced, 21 years old, and his second Junior World Cup final appearance. And Adrian Karmarka is next, 20 years old, the current Asian champion. So we had an Asian champion in 3P take the gold in the last final. Will it happen again with the men? And Ifan Megafani of Indonesia is our jury in charge. And once again, Vidhan Bhatt from India is our man in charge. He's the chief range officer, the man with the mic and all the commands. So that's how they line up. 3 athletes from the home nation of India, 3 athletes who are individual neutral athletes. Croatia and Slovakia also represented. It's exactly the same representation as we had in the women's final. So that gives you an insight into some of the squads that have come here. No teams from China, no teams from Republic of Korea. There's one of those guys here, hence why they're not in finals. My name is Rory McAllister. Hello, thank you very much for coming along. Again, if you're joining us on YouTube, thank you very much for doing so. Likewise, on Facebook, then thanks for coming along. Now, a couple of things about YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel, you can like, you can make your comments, and join in on the live chat as well. Just keep things nice and friendly, shall we, throughout the final. It's always nice when that happens, but by all means, cheer on the athletes. If you're joining us on the Olympic channel, then thank you very much for doing so. And thanks very much for coming along for day 3 of the Issf Junior World Cup, live for you here in New Delhi. So the athletes now settling in. Some of them will cope with the heat better. The back wall is open. So therefore, not only do we have the air conditioning on in here, but we have the heat dripping in. I think it's just off camera. There's some discussion with the jury in charge and the CRO. Some of the other range officers as to why the 5-minute preparation time hasn't started yet, but here we go.
5-minute preparation and sighting time. Start.
So there is the 5 minutes time for our athletes to settle in as soon as they can. It's very different from the finals hall. Speaking of the finals hall, let's go down to Jamie Stangroom, our announcer, who is in the field of play. Jamie, we have exactly the same representation in this final. We had 3 athletes from India with the women, 3 of them individual neutral athletes, 1 from Croatia, 1 from Slovakia. It's happened all over again.
Yeah, it has, deja vu, so we'll see how it ends up. In the end, it was a battle between India and AIN. India taking gold, AIN silver and bronze. The 8 athletes are lined up just to my right here as they prepare to do battle for the medals here at the Dr. Kali Singh shooting range. 3 series of 5 shots coming up in the kneeling position, of course. Then we move into prone, then finally things get serious in the standing. And Rory, we have that familiar feeling at this World Cup of a mix of new names, but also old, but also new names. Because when I say old, I don't mean old by age. Of course, we are old by age in comparison, but we have some familiar names from the junior and senior circuit competing in this final.
Yes, indeed. Yes, 21-year-old Darko Tomasevic of Croatia, the eldest in this final, and certainly no stranger to finals. This is only his second appearance in a final at a Junior World Cup, mind you, but he has competed across many other international competitions and has picked up medals at Issf Grand Prix as well. The interesting thing for me, though, Jamie, is that we had the Asian champion in the women's 3P, and again we've got that in this one in the form of Arun Kamarkar of India. So again, is history going to repeat itself? I know you said déjà vu.
Yes, that was Anushka Tolkar in the women's 3 positions. She came in here riding high after becoming the junior 3 positions Asian champion. On day one, we had the 50-meter rifle prone event. She won gold in that. So again, the momentum she must have carried into the final earlier. I mean, it definitely seemed to pay off for her. She won gold. Could that be the same for Kamarkar? We'll find out. He's had a busy year. He got bronze at the Seoul World Cup. Then he went to Shymkent in Kazakhstan, and that's where he became the junior Asian champion. So let's see if history repeats itself. Very recent history. I think it was 12 noon a couple of hours ago, if it repeats itself in this final.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Jamie Stangroom, thank you very much. We're just in for a hotly contested final. I think that's going to happen. It's certainly by the look of the lineup that we've got here in front of us. Jamie, thank you. We'll let you get on with your duties for the final. Jamie Stangroom, our announcer from Great Britain. So just over 2 minutes to go. If you have just joined us, welcome along. We're live for you on YouTube, also on Facebook and across the Olympic channel. So Kamarkar, there he is, the Asian champion. Took that a few weeks ago, and can he bring that form into this final? Well, a shake of the head there, clearly not happy with whatever sighting shot went on just then, but that's the beauty of sighting shots. You can forget about those. It's the ones in the final that count. So Darko Tomasevic of Croatia, gold medalist in the Grand Prix. Jamie and I mentioned that earlier on, that he's certainly been around the world and won medals. There's that gold. That was in the mixed team junior. It's a gold nonetheless. He also got a bronze medal at that same Grand Prix that you're seeing on your screen, and that was in the individual event. So Dragan Turk is the coach. He's the father of Anna Maria Turk, who competed in the women junior 3 positions final. So here's the first of our individual neutral athletes. Yaroslav Klimin, 19 years old, has competed at the European Championships. And that was in the 10-meter air rifle. And this is his first appearance in a final at an ISSF Junior World Cup. So this is Vedant Wagmari of India. There's that bronze medal from the Asian Championships. And it was in the 3P men junior.
So it's the final countdown now to the final of the 50-meter rifle 3 divisions men's junior event getting underway. All finalists now 3 series of 5 shots in the kneeling position. That will be followed by
So Kamil Ulimirtov, 17 years old. Again, his first appearance in a final at a Junior World Cup. On firing point F, that's Lukas Hodinek. Again, it's his first appearance in a final at a Junior World Cup. So a lot of debutants in terms of Junior World Cup finals. And it's a family affair with Slovakia. It's so common within shooting to get the family involved. So Dmitry Pimenov is next, 20 years old. Took that silver at the World Cup in Ningbo a few weeks ago. So what can the World Cup silver medalist do here? And then finally, Samir Khan. That's the third athlete from India. So there's the load, command, and then start. So this is the first series of 5 in the kneeling position, 3 of those, then a 7-minute changeover, and then 3 series of 5 in the prone, a 9-minute changeover, and then 2 in standing. And we'll get our first eliminations. Well, Holinek opens up with a 10.8. That's the way to do it. A 10.7 from Pimenov, and a 10.6 from Klimin. That's a great start for those 3. 10.9 is the highest individual shot. We were graced with one in the 3P final. It actually came in the standing series as well. Really impressive. Most 10.9s in a 3P you'd expect to come in kneeling or prone, particularly prone. But to get a 10.9 in standing was remarkable. And that just showed Thorkor's class. The Asian champion coming into that 3P final to take gold. So Holinek first to complete, and that shot in the 8 ring won't help him. Shook his head there, but just notice the way he just shakes that off, just goes back into his prep. Of course, he doesn't get to shoot again until we start another series, but the 18-year-old just showing a bit of maturity there, just to try and forget that shot just there in the 8 ring. So you just see there how adjustable and customizable these rifles are. And just Tomaszewicz making an adjustment to that cheek plate. Still not quite happy. So all athletes now completed that first series of 5. And at this stage, any total near 52, well, particularly anything over 52, you'd expect to be leading, but with a 51.7, that's decent enough. A very good total from Pimenov, 0.3 in front. So quite a small gap between first and second. Still early stages though in this 3 positions final. And no ties at this stage after that first series of 5. So now into another series of 5 shots to take us to 10 shots. Oh, 10.8 from Pimenov, the leader. Looking good. So some high 10s. Magmali with that 10.7 follows that with a 9.7. That just shows you how it can mix up in the kneeling position. see the sweat on the faces of some of the athletes. It's incredibly hot outside. Temperatures well into the mid 30 degrees. And that heat is just spilling into the finals hall here with the back wall open, revealing those 50-metre targets. You've got to bear in mind as well that, yeah, of course, you've got a towel to wipe yourself down, but with the underlayers in these suits, your body temperature can get very high. Of course, sometimes when you come to a country like India, it's sometimes if you're used to the heat, you can cope with it a lot better. I remember being in Indonesia for the Asian Championships in the Olympic qualifiers last January. Again, the humidity was off the scale. Here in New Delhi, it's more of a dry heat, but still hot nonetheless. So let's have a look. After 10 shots, that's how it looked after 5. Let's see the scoreboard now adjusted. That 0.3 gap has now changed to 0.7. So Pimenov still leads. Hodinek in 8th place. There's a little bit of work to do. 1.9 behind. There's still time to claw that back. We've got one more series in the kneeling position. And these athletes will be looking to take advantage of that, because you get the kneeling and the prone first, and you've got to try and set yourself up, if you like, for the standing position, because that's when it gets really grueling, very testing. Saying that, though, we had a 10.9 in the first standing series in the women's 3P, so there's hope yet. So shots in the lower 10s. This is where most of the athletes will start rifle careers, in the kneeling position. Try and get that mastered. It's a case of body, mind and soul, muscle memory, breathing, heart rate, and then the mental focus. That's the thing about shooting. You can sit and watch it thinking, well, that looks easy. Try it. You'll soon suss it out. How beautiful it can be and how frustrating at the same time. Well, that 10.8 from Tomasevic will certainly help his cause. Currently in the middle of the scoreboard. Hodinek has completed, so he'll be waiting now for the 7-minute changeover. So 2 athletes to go. Pimenov on 152.3. His first series was 51.7. The second was 51.0. And that last series was a 49.6 from the competition leader. Now, there was a lead, and now it's the narrowest of gaps. So interesting developments here. A 0.7 gap after 10 shots. Once we adjust that to 15, you'll see the gap is 0.1 now between first and second. And Karmakar of India has moved up to second position. Meanwhile, Hodinek really now has some work to do. 6.3 behind in 8th place, as that 7-minute changeover time has already started. You'll notice the athletes don't hang around at all. They've got no assistance here. They've got to do this all by themselves. You'll see them dipping into the equipment boxes at the back, grabbing the Allen key, the multi-tool, and changing various different bits on their rifles. First of all, just making sure safety flags, that's the bit of plastic hanging out of the rifles, are secure and in place. And this is where, as an athlete, you've got to rehearse this. You've got to get it down. The main thing is trying to remember all your measurements. Where do you want your sight? Changing the butt plate because you're then going into the prone position. Change it again for standing. There's quite a lot to do, and as you can see, the athletes don't waste any time. So the prone mats will go down onto the floor. The idea is just to try and get the changeover done as quickly as you can, to then get down and settle in and take as many sighting shots as you would like to. Some like to take more than others. Some athletes don't like to waste too much mental and physical energy and muscle memory. So just over 5 minutes to go before we move into the prone position. This is where we're likely to see some high individual scores, mainly because the athletes have the most stability. But again, another way of breathing, keeping that pulse rate down. And again, just getting into the most comfortable position that you can. You'll see the athletes when they get down making various little adjustments. Obviously, they're doing that to their rifle now, but they'll also do it with their body shape. So, Infan Megafani, our jury in charge, just keeping a close and beady eye on what's going on during the changeover. And there you go, you can see the underlayers that get worn. That's just what's worn underneath the suit. Then you've got to get that on and adjust the prone strap. And you've also got a wrist support as well. Again, athletes just use that all the more for stability.
We've got Issf Junior World Cup U30 2025 badges. We also have Indian flag badges, but you will have to work, to make your dreams come true. You've got to work. Okay, it's a life lesson for you. So I'll be back in a minute.
So the idea is going into this prone position to try and use these 3 series to give yourself that advantage going into the standing phase, because once we finish those 2 series in standing, 2 athletes leave us at once. That's 7th and 8th. And then there are eliminations after every single shot until we decide both the bronze and then the gold and silver medal battle. Three minutes to go. Let's go down again to the field of play and join our announcer, Jamie Stangroom. Jamie, a much closer final this time with the men than we had with the women a few hours ago.
It really is, Rory, yeah, and we're still seeing that deja vu that we talked about earlier with AIN and India making up the top 3. Last time it was 2 AIN athletes in the women's final and 1 Indian winning gold. At the moment, a slight difference that India are in 2nd place, while Pimanev of AIN is in 1st. But in that last series in the kneeling, we really saw the newly crowned junior Asian champion Kamarka rise up the table, didn't we, Roy, with an impressive closing series?
Yeah, indeed, yes, and that 51.5 that he shot in that 3rd kneeling series has really helped his cause. He ended up being 0.1 behind Pimenov, the leader, who's actually led from the very beginning. Lots of debutantes as well in this particular final. Lots of athletes who are making their first appearance in a Junior World Cup. But that's what it's about, isn't it, Jamie? Is getting out here onto the world stage, and particularly when you come to India even. We're in India, aren't we? We're definitely in India.
I think so.
Yeah, we are.
I'm looking around and I'm seeing a lot of Indian flags.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So coming to a country like India that's so prolific in the world of rifle shooting, it's great, I think, for these athletes to get experience in a country like this.
No, absolutely, yeah. For whatever nation you're from, to come here, it's an incredible shooting range, the Dr. Khani. Singh shooting range, and also the infrastructure for this sport in India provides a great platform for all of the athletes here, whether they're from Croatia, Italy, as you said, Rory, there, or India. You know, it's a great place to come and shoot, and to be an Indian athlete as well is, I suppose, a blessing and a curse. You have these great facilities, you have this great support behind you, but at the same time, you're amongst a big competitive team. So we've been following the sport around the world, senior and junior. There is kind of crossover. You often do see junior athletes in the senior events, but when you come to the junior, you really see the strength in depth of teams like India, like China, because there's new names, so many new names, like Khan, for example, in this final, Wagmeri.
Indeed, yes, and talking about competitors in senior competitions, Pimenov is leading. He took that silver in Ningbo a few months ago. Can he hang on? And now, Jamie, you made a comment earlier about how old we are, but I can inform you that this range is actually older than you are, so don't worry too much.
Wow, I can't even say someone's older than me here.
The range is older than
me
yes,
here. Okay, that's something.
It is.
I'm happy with that. Thank you, Rory.
It was built in 1982 for the 6th Asian Games and then renovated just before the 2010 Commonwealth Games. That renovation started in 2008. They spent about just under $34 million on it, and it's due another revamp as well. So, Jamie, don't worry, your age is intact.
Thank you very much.
Well, there we are. We're about to get underway with the prone series in this 3P final. This is how it stands. So Pimenov, the silver medalist from Ningbo a few weeks ago, just 0.1 in front of Karmakar of India, the current Asian champion for men junior, in 3 positions. This is going to be really interesting. This 3 series of 5 in this prone position, with the stability that the athletes have got here of the 3 positions, this is where they should be strongest. Let's see if we get any 10.9s. That's mostly shots in the 10 ring so far. Bear in mind that 10 ring is 10.4 millimeters wide, some 50 meters away from the athletes, shooting into the outdoors. There's a minor breeze, and they've got the wind flags to help them. But there's certainly more of a breeze, I'd say, now than there was for the women junior 3 positions final. 10.8 from Pimenov, followed that with a 10.3. Well, all athletes have finished already, not hanging around in that first series of 5 in the prone position. And Karmakar, with a 52.0 series, has taken the lead. So India have leapfrogged up into first position, and there's a tie at the top now. So Pimenov has slipped down to second. Well, joint second if you like. Well, joint first even, really.
So we now move on to our second series.
204.2, the 2 leaders. Great shooting from Karmakar in that last series, 52.0. Just to say that Pimenov, meanwhile, hit a 51.9 in that first series in the prone. Great opening shot from Pimenov. 10.7 in this second series of 5. Crucial phase of the final, the second series in prone. You've got to try and build that stability, build those blocks for the standing stage. So Holinek is first to complete. 10.5, his last shot, a total of 241.1. Still has him in 8th place at the moment. So all athletes now completed that second series in the prone. Let's see how it has affected the scoreboard. Well, Karmakar was joint top with Pimenov. Pimenov now back in front as he was earlier on in this final, a gap of 0.9. So the silver medalist from Ningbo a few weeks ago leading this 3 positions final. Klimin 3.2 behind in 3rd place. And Lukas Holinek really does have it stacked against him, a 9.1 gap between 8th and 7th. The rest of the scoreboard, between 7th up to 5th, is quite close.
Start.
10.9 from Lukas Holinek, even in 8th place. Just goes to show just where you are on the scoreboard is not always a reflection of your ability. It's more a reflection of your form in the final. But we have a 10.9, the highest individual shot available, and another 10.9 as well from Nurkametov. This is you just see how delicate those triggers are. This is the last chance now for the athletes in the prone position to maximise that stability. As you can see, the wrist straps there. It's going to get tough once we have the 9-minute changeover into standing. And I think we're going to see quite a lot of variation and swing in the scoreboard. So one of the longest series in terms of time taken in the prone position. So just Nurkametov just to complete. And does so, final shot at 10.2. So the athletes now, you can see them ready to get up, just waiting for the unload and the 9-minute start command. and then they can move off the mat. So the gap at the top, 1.0. It's Pimenov, the silver medalist from Ningbo in China a few weeks ago at the World Cup. Just a note on China as well, there's no athletes from the People's Republic of China at this particular Junior World Cup. The Republic of Korea also don't have any athletes here. But once again, in the 3P final, we have 3 athletes from India, 3 athletes who are individual neutral athletes, 1 from Croatia, 1 from Slovakia. Exactly the same representation that we had in the women's 3 positions final. So the pro mats will be packed up. The rifles need adjusting again. The butt plate will need changing as we now go to standing. And also you'll see the rifle stands as well will make an appearance, because you can rest the rifle on the rifle stand. And the rules are that where you rest your rifle, that can be no higher than your own shoulder.
Dropping down the fourth into 6th is Blue of AIM, 1 point behind the Indian athlete in 5th. It's still Khan in 7th with 2.1.
So you can see the speed at which the athletes get on this.
And in 8th place, there's no changes.
There really is no seconds to waste.
Who did fire a perfect 10.9 during that series.
So it's Pimenov who continues to lead. His total is 308.4. He's 1.0 in front of Karmakar of India. Yuramiatov in 3rd. Tomashevic of Croatia is in 4th place. Wagmari of India is in 5th. Klimin in 6th. Khan of India in 7th. And Hodinek of Slovakia currently in 8th place. So if you have just joined us, welcome along. We're live on YouTube and on Facebook and on the Olympic channel. And we're in the changeover from prone to standing in the 3 positions rifle men junior final at the Issf Junior World Cup here in New Delhi 2025. So we'll be back in a few moments.
Shot 41 will decide 6th place, shot 42 5th, and so on until shot 44 for the bronze, shot 45 for the silver and gold. However, if we have a tie-break situation, then the athletes involved will fire additional single shots until the tie is broken. Is it B, Ed Chil, or C, Issf? It's the line penny. Go with each line penny. Is that your final answer? I know that, so you can log it. Alright, it's locked. And you have made your dream come true. A pin badge is coming your way. Let's do a few more questions for you. Which would you like? Yeah, come on, boys. We've got the World Cup pin badge. Exclusive limited edition, you could say, or the timeless classic that is the Indian flag, which would be like one, only one. Or a green young man on the floor. Alright, you choose for me. You need to choose for you, but this is the most pressure I've ever felt in an announced Olympic finals. Okay. Do you have this one already? You don't? Okay. Who needs a difficult situation? Alright, go to the World Cup. It's limited edition. Yeah, it's limited edition. You happy with that? Alright. It's yours. There you go. Your wish was mine. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, thank you for taking part. I'll try and come back to you guys here, but for now, we go over to anyone wants to have a go. Big matches for win. You want to go? Yeah, okay. Hello. Russell Wayne, where are you from? India, so I think it's also fair to say that you are this morning for I'm going to go to the range and win a pin badge. Would you one day like to come to the range and win a pin? Would you like to be competing in the final like this one day? What do you shoot? Rifle, pistol, shotgun? Hey, well, good luck to you with your shooting score career, but for now, good luck as you go head to head with my hard-hitting questions and your bid to win a pin badge. Okay, across rifle, pistol, and shotgun, how many Olympic shooting sport events are there in total Olympics? A, 15, B, 12, or C, 10? We're going with 12, B. Do you want to help? You want to help? Shout out what you think it is. You're giving me mixed answers, which is very disappointing, shooting sport community, but maybe this is this guy here. What did he say? Change your answer. You're still going with 12?
There's the 30-second reminder from the Chief Range Officer. We're about to get going again now in the standing position. A few of the athletes just checking their footing, checking their stance. They know when they're in what they feel to be their perfect position for standing rifle shooting. So Pimenov leads 308.4. And now we've got 2 series of 5 shots in the standing position, and then we will eliminate 7th and 8th at once. So there it is, there's that gap of 1.0 between 2nd and 1st. 3rd and 2nd, a gap of 3.4. A little bit closer here and there between 4th and 6th-ish. A massive gap down at the bottom though, 2.4 for Holonek. Can he claw his way at least to try and escape some of the eliminations? That is a tough order. It's looking really unlikely though, an 8.4 gap between 8th and 7th. I mean, that's just huge. But there's 2 series to go. There's always a chance in shooting, always a chance. But this is incredibly tough. You can see how much the athletes are sweating. the Delhi heat from outside really is pouring in to the Dr. Carney shooting range. It's just gone 2:30 in the afternoon. Now we may even see a few shots in the 8 ring here as the tiredness starts to kick in. Qualification happened before this final. It's been a long day. 10.6 though from Wagamari. Shows no signs that he's in a standing position at all. 10.5 from Karmakar of India. .8 from Nurmagomedov. A really impressive shot. 10.7 from Klimin. Even that 10.5 from Horinek, who was in 8th position. He started this standing series 8.4 behind. Just shows he's not giving up, which is really good to see, a bit of fighting spirit. Horinek completes. Last shot 9.6. There's a shot in the 8 ring from Wagamari after those high 10s earlier on. So plenty of shots in the 9s, some in the 8s. There's only been a few though, dipped into the 8 ring. And this is what makes the standing part of a 3-position final just so fascinating. Well, real bit of mixed form in that first standing series of 5 from Nurmagomedov, who finishes in the 8 ring. So there was a 1.0 gap at the top. That's now changed. It's been halved. And Pimenov still leads. The silver medalist from Ningbo a few weeks ago has a total of 358. He's 0.5 in front of Karmakar of India. Wagamari, despite some of those shots in the 8 ring, is up to 3rd place. And it's 4.6 behind. There's a tie for 5th. Horinek has managed to close that gap down to 5.7 from 8.4. A nice bit of fighting spirit from Lukas Horinek of Slovakia. So one more series of 5 in standing. So 10.7 from the leader, Pimenov. Really impressive. Horinek, who's in 8th place, at 8.9. You just see the sweat on Pimenov's face. And just pulls away to try and reset and go again. Well, more shots appearing now in the 8 ring. That's no surprise. Pimenov, the neither. Last shot was a 9.8. And apart from that 10, that 10.7 from Tomasevic, very impressive at this stage. He's still hovering around the middle of the scoreboard. Has been for most of this final. But once we get to 40 shots, we'll have our first elimination. We can look at our leader, get the total, divide it by 40. That'll give us our average. So Hodenek completes at 8.9. He'll be leaving the final in 8th place. Another very impressive shot from Nurmitov, 10.5. So again, these athletes know exactly when that rifle's in the right place for them. Getting their breath control under control. And it's breathing, pulse rate. Trying to dampen the recoil as well of the rifle. An 8 from Khan, one of the lowest shots we've seen across the standing period so far. Klimin had a 10.1, finishes on an 8.6. There's our leader, Pimenov. He'll lead by 1.0. So we have our first 2 eliminations. And Lukas Hodenek has struggled for most of this final, representing Slovakia on a total of 386.6. Hodenek finished 6.4 behind and leaves this final in 8th place. And next athlete to be eliminated in 7th is Sami Ullah Khan. Final total of 393. His final series in standing was 46.4, and Samir Khan leaves the final in 7th. So 2 athletes eliminated, 6 left, and now there's eliminations after every single shot. It gets deadly serious here in New Delhi at this ISSF Junior World Cup. So Pimenov has increased the lead again. It went from 0.5 back to 1.0. Massive gap between 3rd and 2nd, 5.0. More narrow between 4th and 3rd, so there's still a battle for the bronze there. As for the rest of the scoreboard, 4th, 5th and 6th, well, it could change. Let's see how we go. So Pimenov has averaged 10.2 throughout the final so far. By this stage in the women's final, we had an average of just under 10.3. It was about 10.28. Pimenov, decent enough, 10.3, higher than his 10.2 average so far. Carmarco with a 10.4, so higher than Pimenov, will close the gap to 0.9, but it's still Pimenov, the silver medalist from Ningbo at the ISSF World Cup a few weeks ago, who continues to lead. Does he have enough in the tank to hang on? But we have our next elimination. and in 6th place. And Yaroslav Klimin, 19 years old, competed at the European Championships. This was his first appearance in a final at a Junior World Cup. He competed across 10 metres in the European Championships and now leaves this final in 6th. A very respectable place to finish amongst this kind of talent at the Issf Junior World Cup.
For the next competition shot, load, start.
So 5 athletes remain. The crowd start to get involved. Pimenov with a 10. What can Karmarka do to try and close the gap? The gap was 0.9 between Karmarka and Pimenov. It's now a gap of 0.7 with that 10.2 from the Indian athlete. And now we have our next elimination, and representing India. He's had a bit of a mixed final, but Vedant Niten Wagamari, 18 years old. He's competed at 2 World Championships. This was his first appearance in a final at a Junior World Cup. He's got a bronze medal from the Asian Championships. That was in the 3P men juniors. And he's also competed at the Asian Championships in the 2023 Asian Championships. That was in the 3P men juniors. But for Wagamari, it's 5th place in front of the home crowd.
For the next competition shot, load, start.
So Darko Tomasevic with a 9.1 and a 10.2 on the other side of the elimination battle. So Darko Tomasevic will miss out on a medal and a place on the podium, inserts his safety flag, 1.5 behind. And the Croatian leaves the final on a total of 430.3. That's a cruel place to finish for Darko. 21 years old in his 2nd appearance at a Junior World Cup in a final. There's a gold medal at the Grand Prix for the Issf in the mixed team junior, and a bronze medal at that Grand Prix as well in the individual from last year. But no medal today for Darko Tomasevic. I did wonder if a medal was touch and go for him before this final started, but not to be for today. Now Pimenov has a sizable lead here.
For the next competition shot, load,
The gap was 0.7. That's been increased to 2.0.
start.
So Yuramitov, the battle for bronze. He's 4.6 behind though. That's a huge gap even at this stage in a standing position of a 3-position final. .2 for the individual neutral athlete. That's a bronze guaranteed. And we have our first medal of this 3 positions final. And Kamil Nuryamitov, the individual neutral athlete, has taken a bronze in New Delhi in this Issf Junior World Cup in the final. So the battle for gold, there's 1 shot left unless it goes to a shoot-off. We did see a bit of wavering, a bit of nerves in the women junior 3 positions final. Will we see it again? Pimenov versus Karmakar. The gap is 3.6. One shot left, unless we go to a shoot-off, but it's been looking likely for Pimenov for most of this final.
For the next competition shot, load, start,
So can Pimenov hold his nerve? Karmakar settles in. You see how still both athletes are. Bit of recoil there from Pimenov, and with a 10.8, well, he deserves to win. And the gold medal is his. It was a silver in Ningbo at the ISSF World Cup a few weeks ago. And now he's come along to New Delhi and he'll go with a gold medal. So Dmitry Pimenov, an individual neutral athlete, is a gold medalist here at the ISSF Junior World Cup in New Delhi. And a hard-fought contest as well from Adrian Karmakar. He's bagged another medal for India, and this time it's a silver. Well, a real grueling test, particularly in this heat as well. All that balance, breath control, trying to keep the pulse rate down, a really difficult event. So here are the medalists now confirmed. So Kamil Nuryamitov, an individual neutral athlete, takes the bronze medal. And Adrian Karmakar of India is the silver medalist. It's another medal for India. And they're streaking ahead in the medals table. And Dmitry Pimenov, finally we get a smile. And the individual neutral athlete is a gold medalist here in New Delhi. Well, all those results now will go into the record books, and the medals will go into their individual medal cabinets. Because who would want to keep it in a shoebox underneath the bed? Well, I certainly wouldn't, for one. Well, thanks for joining us so far. We've still got more coverage for you. We'll try and get some highlights to you and also get some interviews for you as well. So do stick with us on YouTube, on Facebook, and on the Olympic channel. We've got another day of competition, of course, coming up tomorrow, day 4. But in the meantime, that's official confirmation of how it finished, from the gold medalist right down to 8th place. So that completes our schedule. We had India with a gold medal earlier, the Asian champion for 3 positions, women's junior, Anusha Thokor for India, took the gold. Adding to that gold, she took in the 50-metre prone a few days ago before we started our transmissions. And then Dmitry Pimenov, the silver medalist from Ningbo a few weeks ago, now upgrades here in New Delhi to a gold medal at the ISSF Junior World Cup.
Hi, how are you?
Cool. We'll do an interview. I'll see about what.
So we've got some interviews for you, do stick with us. Meanwhile, look ahead tomorrow. We've got the 25-metre rapid fire men junior, that's at 11 AM local time, and then we'll move to the 2 rifle finals. 1:15 local time for the 10-metre rifle women junior, and then 2:45 for the 10-metre rifle men junior. So that's how it's looking for tomorrow. 3 events indoors, back in the air conditioning, and the Delhi heat, well, it can wait outside for us all. So interviews coming up for you, live on ISSF TV, across Facebook, YouTube, and across the Olympic channel.
Adrian, congratulations. After bronze in Seoul, you've just picked up World Cup silver here in Delhi. It was a tough and hot and probably fair to say sticky battle out there. Can you talk us through the final from your perspective?
Definitely the weather is very humid here, so I can see everyone sweating. Definitely difficult conditions, but it's my whole home range, so I know this range through ins and outs, and I'm proud to play for India in this finals in my home range. So silver, I'm happy about it. I gave it my best. In the end, maybe lost a bit of focus, a few bad shots, but I think I'm happy with my overall performance.
Yeah, I think you're referring to some of the final few shots there. What would you say then you've learned that you can take away from this experience to apply for next year?
Definitely keeping the cool and keeping the edge off, right? Definitely the pressure and the nerves got to me, and the weather also definitely not helping, but can't complain. So definitely a learning point and a lot to learn.
But life is a learning journey. But just one more question, because this is your last international event of the year. You've had 2 World Cup medals, a bronze and a silver, and you became Junior Asian Champion. So how would you reflect now, looking back on this year?
Yeah, it was definitely a good run. I was confident with my shooting. I'm still confident with my shooting, and hopefully I'll do just as well next year too.
Yeah, okay. I told you it was the last question. It is for you. However, I now have a question for your dad, who's joined us, which you probably weren't expecting. I don't think you were expecting either. You've just watched your son compete on the international stage at his home range here in New Delhi and take away a silver medal. How proud are you feeling right now?
Yeah, definitely. It's a big proud moment for all of us, like for Indians, for Indian shooters, coaches, as well as, of course, like the family and father, of course. But it makes me more, gives me more pleasure because, you know, many of our shooters, like their next generation is not coming into shooting. So that way I would say, like, I'm very glad that he has chosen shooting as a sport in his career, and he's doing pretty well. He's still in juniors, but I would hope that he sticks to the sports honestly, and he works hard on this and makes it big.
Good fatherly advice. And I know you listen to your dad, Adrian, because I remember talking to you in Seoul and you told me that actually your dad was your inspiration to get into the sport. So, of course, it's an international career being an athlete. It's not often your family get to come with you. So how special is it for you to know that your dad was here today to watch you win this medal?
He has definitely helped me, and it also helps that he has been through that, through the shooting and international matches and everything. He has been a shooter himself. So he could definitely help me with a lot of experiences that, you know, you can make the mistakes and learn, or you can learn from the experiences that my father gained. So he has definitely helped me in that area, and yeah, it can be overwhelming sometimes, but it's all the journey. It's about the journey.
How are you going to celebrate tonight? Any special treats for your son here?
Yeah, we're now back in West Bengal in Kolkata. So we have the biggest festival now starting today. That's Durga Puja. So I'll be flying back to Kolkata. He will have his fun time today, I guess, and he'll be spending his time with the youth, lovely, coming from the different part of the world for this Junior World Cup. So he will enjoy himself and join us tomorrow back in Kolkata.
Okay, so you can celebrate tonight and you can celebrate tonight on your own. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Enjoy. Adrian, congratulations again. Thank you both for talking to me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
See you later.
Congratulations. Well done.
Lighter Rifle 3 Positions Men's Junior event. The medals will be presented by Mr. VK Dahl, Competition Director for this Issf Junior World Cup and Vice President of the NRAI. He is accompanied by Mr. Hassan bin Hadia, shotgun jury for this World Cup, Vice President of the UAE Shooting Federation and Issf Judges Committee member. Bronze medalist representing AIN, Kamil Nuriakmetov. Silver medalist representing India, Adrian Kamaka. The gold medalist representing AIN, Dmitry Pimenov. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand for the anthem of AIN. Congratulations once again to the medalists. Now pause for photographs to be taken. If the medal presenters can now make way, so the group photo of the athletes can be taken. Meanwhile, Miss Kriti Sharma, pistol jury member, will present our medal presenters with a special gift bag in recognition of their contribution to this Issf Junior World Cup New Delhi 2025. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to Mr. VK Dahl and also to Mr. Hassan bin Hadia. Thank you very much. Also to Ms. Kriti Sharma as well for her presentation skills. Feel free to continue taking photographs, but that does formally end this medal ceremony. Thank you very much for joining us here at the ISSF Junior World Cup New Delhi 2025. We will see you tomorrow. We have 3 finals coming up: 25-meter rapid fire pistol and both 10-meter air rifle finals as well. So have a safe journey home.